go. 3,
right.
2, 1.
Welcome back to the Leader Podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers. Good
Glad
to see you this morning.
Glad to see you guys. How's it going? Love everything and love everyone. Love the people.
You're just feeling so much love.
I'm trying to fill the awkward silence from the last podcast.
I know, no kidding.
Last week.
I think we dropped about 48 views during that 10-second little pause there.
Probably.
Hey, let's do some leader shout-outs.
Let's do it.
Man, I just want to say to 7th and 8th grade, 945 guys, their group has exploded.
Yeah.
Exploded. We're actually we had to.
So that's that's David.
That's David McIntyre,
Travis
Nash, and Eric Cooper.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I looked in that bay and they were sitting in a double circle.
Oh my god.
Like not tight. Like we didn't have enough space, so we had to add another row of internal chairs.
Wow.
To fit all the kids. So you'll notice that since then we've started adjusting some things, and now we've got a couple of double bays where bigger groups are meeting and people are meeting more around the building and stuff like that. It's a really great problem to have.
Good problem to have.
Yeah.
For
so
sure.
good job, fellas. Those kids don't come at 9:45 on purpose. Well, no, they do come on purpose. They don't come. They're coming because you're making it a place where they can feel
welcome, wanted,
known and needed.
So great
Nice.
job. Love
Good
that.
job.
Love
Yeah.
that for them. Also, this is everyone who was at our September leader training.
Yeah.
Their name got put here into a random name generator. So if you went to the leader meeting,
Breakfast in the Bay
in September,
let's see who's gonna win.
Breakfast in the Bay. You tell us this week what you want, when you want, and you will get.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Let's scratch that. Breakfast in the Bay. We'll have breakfast for you.
There you go.
Because the more I'm thinking about that, what you want, when you want, that's starting to feel like something we can't maybe always do.
Yeah, we'll get them. We'll get them elevated donuts or breakfast
kolaches
tacos.
or something like that. Yeah. You'll have something and it will be in your bay.
Yeah, only your group gets it. Not,
correct.
The
Yes.
donuts are for everyone, obviously, but you get better donuts. You get kolaches. You
get the booze.
Yeah,
you get the booze.
So
winner is.
Congratulations to none other than the one and only, the great, the wonderful.
Stop it!
The guy named Mike
Harris. All right. 9th and 10th grade guys at 9:45.
Heck yeah.
Breakfast in the Bay.
That's amazing.
Next week. Okay.
So we're talking about Generation Alpha.
I know.
Who are they?
Yeah. Listen, interestingly enough, I was like, Generation Alpha, because you and I have had a little debate about this for a while.
Yep.
Like where they start. Are
Yep.
they in our student ministry yet?
Yep.
And I was reading a resource the other day. I was like, oh, yep. Born in 2010.
2010
Which
through
means
2025, which, if you're counting at home.
Which means that it's not junior high kids.
Yeah.
In my mind, Alpha was our 6th graders moving up. Alpha is not our 6th graders moving up.
No.
Alpha is our freshmen.
Yeah, underclassmen.
Yeah.
Maybe. And those lines are very, and it's not hard and fast.
Agreed.
Like when you're, on the edge of either.
Agreed,
like
but they're definitely
borrow,
here.
Yeah.
Like, agreed. It's they're hazy,
The
but they're
oldest Gen Z is 27 years old. Can you believe that?
No,
And the
clearly.
oldest millennial is like 43, 44 years old.
That's you, right?
No, that's 10 years younger, 10 years older than me. I'm a millennial, but millennials are these people's parents.
Right.
Right? Like I have kids potentially in this Gen Alpha category.
Indeed.
And so depending on who you read, what you read, they're saying 2010 to 2025 or so is Generation Alpha. And so
they're here.
as churches, we've, out of COVID, in COVID, started talking Gen Z, like they're past us.
Yeah,
Like,
much like a lot of things we do in church. We started that conversation 10 years too
So we're not going to let it get us. Like we got
ahead of us.
Our upperclassmen are, on that tail end of Gen Z, but the majority of our youth ministry are Generation Alpha.
Yeah, and they've got some distinctives we're going to talk about over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So Alpha, digital dependence.
What do you mean by digital dependent?
Well, most of the time when we're talking about a younger generation, when my generation, talking about a younger generation, talking about digital natives.
Yeah.
They're used to technology. It's not a new thing to them.
Yeah.
They've never not understood how to use an app on their phone.
Right.
They're digital natives.
Yeah.
Digital dependents are people who cannot live without that resource.
Yeah.
So digitally, they can't, if you take away every screen, they may not know how to function.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. I mean, like I think about my kids, like I installed my first Alexa, if you're listening to this at home, I hope that alerted yours.
Hey, Alexa, play Whitney Houston.
I installed mine when we were pregnant with Hudson. So he's never not lived in a house being able to talk to an AI device, ask it for music, ask it for the weather, or ask it to fart.
Yeah. Does it do that?
Yeah.
Katie won't have me.
You don't have boys.
It wouldn't matter. Katie wouldn't let me have one anyway because she thinks that the government's listening to everything we say.
Well, they are, but I have nothing to hide, so
there you go.
Bring it in. Bring it on in. Hey, at this point, we might even know who our next. No, not yet. Not who our next president's going to be, but soon.
Soon.
It's
dropping in a couple days.
So, but here's the thing that's interesting about this digital dependence, right? So, Alexa devices, Google Homes, all those things, screens. The iPad came out when I was a freshman in college. So it's like 2009, 2010, right?
Yeah.
My son was born 2016.
Yeah.
So he's only ever lived with iPads. And so it's those types of things that even I as parents and other parents, like you take your kid out to a restaurant, they can have a device. And so I think some of those, we still don't know some of the long-term effects of...
Even our menus are deviceable.
Yeah.
Like, we don't give you a menu anymore. We give you a QR code at your table, and you have to have a device to access the menu.
Yeah, yeah. And so I think some of that is what makes the device thing tricky, because in church, you know, we'll get hung up on the debate between like paper Bibles or phone Bibles, and phone Bibles can be a distraction because one app away is a game, or one app away is TikTok.
Yeah, or somebody texts you and you're immediately in a rabbit hole.
And you might. We even talked about that yesterday at the leader training. Like, it may not even be intentional. Like, I don't know if you've ever grabbed your phone to like look at your calendar or look at your like bank account or look at, and then all of a sudden you're like 3 hours deep into Instagram Reels.
Yes.
Like, I was just checking what was on my calendar for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we have fully developed prefrontal cortexes.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, right.
Allegedly.
Yeah, agreed.
And so when we say that they're digital dependent, what you might notice, and what I've heard argument-wise is, well, yeah, but they're not on social media.
Yeah.
And that's objectively false. They're just not where you're on social media.
Correct.
So they're not posting publicly to Instagram. They may be there, but they're lurking, and they're leaving comments on Reels, which is a whole new thing. I don't even know how to do that yet. Or they're on Discord.
Yeah.
Or they're on YouTube.
I think Discord's kind of a big one.
Yeah, for gaming especially. Yeah. Or they're definitely on things like Snapchat or watching like gamers and stuff like that on Twitch.
Hey, we're not on Snapchat no matter what anyone tells you. Don't know. Snapchat's a no-no for us.
But they're on it. Yeah. And that's what they use primarily to message.
Yeah.
You know? So it's different. They're not posting publicly like maybe your aunt is about the upcoming election and those things. They're just not. But they are on social media and they are seeing the things.
Yeah. So how are we going to address that? That might be a bigger. That can be another podcast.
Yeah, that's a bigger conversation. Yeah. But just know that like
that's a leader training.
They slide in and out of digital and in person very seamlessly.
Yeah.
And so for us, it may seem a little more black and white, a little more binary. Like, this is my like digital presence. This is my in person presence. For them, like, it's all the same.
It's just a presence.
I was driving home last night, or on the way home from church yesterday, and I looked over at a stoplight, and there was a couple driving, and they were both on their phone doing something.
Yeah.
You know, texting.
Putting your life in danger.
Media. Yeah. Well, there was a train, so. But, you know, like, that's it. They grab the phone, and then it's over. They put it down, and then off they are with their life. Yeah. And so there's going to have to be some re-education of how to, not even re-education, but just what does interaction look like with digital as just a very fluid part of our lives. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons we offer as many
opportunities,
options, and
lots of entry points. Lots of entry points. Yeah. I love it.
Storytime.
Good job. Storytime. Ooh, this one's hard. This one's hard. This was back. This was my first full-time church. So I'm thinking 1992 or 3.
Pre-iPad.
Yeah, definitely pre-iPad. I was still using a ruler to make bulletin boards. So took a bunch of kids to summer camp and had a little junior high girl who went to summer camp with us. This is when I was wishing for an awkward silence. Oh, so we go to summer camp and she's just super fidgety and, we're standing in the lunch line.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Are you okay? So-and-so.
Way to call it out.
Yeah, are you okay?" She's like, "I'm just so uncomfortable." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you not feeling?" I'm totally innocent, right? I'm like, "Are you not feeling well?" She said, "No, I started my period and this is the first time I've used a tampon and I don't really know what I'm doing." I said, "Great, Katie."
Was she there?
Yeah, she was. Thank God she was there.
Yeah.
Let me just say, but
Good for you.
just a note to say, students may tell you anything at any time.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes the same size. That was a treat. Never forgot it.
Let's crash.
Oh,
this
please,
one.
can we crash?
Bye.